Hello everyone, and welcome back to 14 and Alive. Today I'm going to talk about something that has to do with Christmas, because, as you all probably know, Christmas is drawing extremely near, and I've decided I'm going to talk about hot chocolates. Specifically, the hot chocolate powders, the ones you just put in water or milk and you stir it around and you could drink it. And the reason I'm going to talk about these is because a lot of these powders actually have additives in them. They could be associated with an increased risk of breast cancer, diabetes. They could be associated with cardiovascular disease. But before I begin talking about these additives, I would like to say where I got the information from. I got all this information from the Yuka app, and I will talk more about the Yuka app at the end of the video. But right now, let's begin. So first, we're going to talk about the Swiss Miss milk chocolate powder. First off, it has dipotassium phosphate, which is suspected to be carcinogenic. It could disrupt bone mineralization, have a detrimental effect on the kidneys, and increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. Additionally, it could be associated with an increased risk of type 2 diabetes and breast cancer. That is absolutely insane. So imagine this. You're saying, okay, today I don't want to consume much sugar, so all I'm gonna have is one packet of Swiss Miss milk chocolate hot cocoa. That's all I'm gonna have today. And you think, okay, I'm being healthy, I'm not consuming that much sugar today. But in reality, you could be contributing to cardiovascular disease or breast cancer. It's absolutely insane. And not only does it have dipotassium phosphate, it also has mono and diglycerides of fatty acids, which is also suspected to be carcinogenic. It can increase the risk of developing cancers and cardiovascular disease. It is also suspected of disrupting gut flora, which could lead to an increased risk of autoimmune and allergic diseases as well as inflammatory diseases. So like I said, you're doing this, you're saying, okay, I don't want that much sugar today, I'm only going to have one of these envelopes of powder, and you're having all of these additives. But now, let's move on to the next powder, which is the Swiss Miss Marshmallow. And this actually has the same additives. This one also has dipotassium phosphates and monodiglycerides of fatty acids. And now the next powder is the Nestle milk chocolate. And this one actually has a whole range of additives. It also has the mono and diglycerides of fatty acids and the dipotassium phosphate, but it also has sodium aluminum silicate, which is an anti-caking agent. And it also has sucralose. And this additive is also suspected to be carcinogenic. It could be associated with an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, chronic inflammation in the digestive tract, and other metabolic disorders. Additionally, high consumption of sweeteners could be associated with an increased risk of cancer. Finally, sweeteners are believed to have no positive effect on weight. And this is what thousands of Americans are consuming. This right here. All of these additives like sodium aluminum silicate, these are actually banned in other countries like China and the European Union. It is allowed, but is often heavily restricted. But in America, you find this in so many foods. It's actually insane. And now we have the next powder, which is the Nestle Marshmallow. This one also has the mono and diglycerides of fatty acids and the dipotassium phosphate. And it actually has a new one, which is cellulose gum, and this is a texturizing agent. It is again suspected as being carcinogenic. This additive is suspected of significantly disrupting the gut microbiota and promoting chronic intestinal inflammation. Such inflammation could contribute to the development of chronic diseases like certain cancers, autoimmune diseases, and metabolic syndrome. It has also been associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. And again, with this cellulose gum, the European Union is phasing it out of infant food by April 2027, but the FDA generally considers it safe for whatever reason. And it also has sodium aluminum silicate and sucralose. So this just has the whole range. This has 6 additives, man.
That's insane. How is that even possible?
Imagine if you drink one of these every day, maybe even 2. My goodness. And now our next powder is the Starbucks hot cocoa powder, which actually has no dangerous additives. And the next powder is the Starbucks double chocolate powder, which again has no dangerous additives. So guys, if you want to drink some hot cocoa powder this Christmas, do not buy Nestle. Especially do not buy the marshmallow Nestle. That has 6 additives. Absolutely insane. Do not buy Swiss Miss. If you want, you can go and buy the Starbucks powder. And now this is the end of the video, but before I go, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna talk about what the Yuka app is. And the Yuka app, you can just download it on your phone, and then whenever you go grocery shopping, you can scan the barcode of the items you are buying, the food items. And it lets you know all the positives, all the things you should be worrying about, all the additives, the sugar, the saturated fat, and it scores it out of 100. So I use it every time I go grocery shopping. And sometimes I want to buy those tortillas to make tacos or burritos. And I used to just walk in there, grab whatever I wanted, but now I scan it and I see, oh my god, it has just a bunch of dangerous additives. So guys, you gotta download it. And you can also use it for like beauty and cosmetic products. It lets you know what's in there and scores it out of 100. So it has been extremely helpful. And like I said, this is how I got all of this information about these additives and what additives are in there. And now I'm just gonna check real quick, because now I'm curious. I just want to check, what score did it give Nestle Marshmallow? 0 out of 100? Well, how surprising. How surprising. So guys, if you like this video, I would really appreciate the support if you guys would hit that subscribe button and hit the like button, leave a comment. I would really appreciate it. I love what I'm doing here, talking about these things, giving my opinion. So I'm gonna try to post as many videos as possible. Merry Christmas and auf Wiedersehen.